Division 3 around Canada. The title race is getting spicy. It is me, RSF1 Cornish, and tonight joined by a familiar voice. It is Mr. Primus rejoining comms again. How you doing, mate?
Oh, I'm very good, thank you, and thank you for having me back.
Yeah, glad to have you here, mate. I think you might be my partner for the rest of the season if you're free. Obviously, I don't know what your plans are,
well,
but
I won't have any complaints about it, just other than possible work commitments. Hopefully,
yeah,
nothing should be in the way, but at least for today, you have me.
great. And I can't wait to have you here, mate, if I'm honest, because I've had some shockers this season, Mr. Sauce.
Well,
No. I love RSF1
well,
Sauce. We had a good partnership, but he's been a busy boy with work, sadly, so he's
well,
had to move
I'd
days.
like to have a little think on this, Cornish. Last season, you and I were title rivals, and now
We
we're
were.
co-streaming.
I know. You wouldn't have imagined this last season, would you? When you
No.
hated my guts as Hamilton invalidates the first lap of the day. Well done, Hamilton. So whilst we're on our outlaps, I thought I would give you and the people watching a bit of an update on where the standings are because it's getting spicy, as I said earlier. Obviously, we've got this and two more races left available. We have Mr. Camo 432 at the top of the standings on 199 points, and then the fellow committee member RSF1 Shane just behind on 183 points. So there's only what's that? I can't do maths. That's only 16 points between them. That's nothing with 3 races to go. That's nothing at all. It's getting exciting. So obviously, if Shane really wants to win today, to then close that gap up again. If he wins and Camo comes second, then it's only going to be 8 points to go. But yeah, so those are the top 2. We've then got Eagle 78 behind on 156. So he's still within a slim chance, but it's a very slim chance. And still within a chance as well is Quirky Turtle on 147. But those are our main protagonists for this evening.
And it's not just the drivers' championship that's getting very close. Obviously, constructors as well. But here's the real nitty gritty because there's 2 teams that are quite deadlocked in a massive head-to-head battle for the overall constructors' battle. It is Aston Martin versus AlphaTauri. So,
Oh,
as you can see, we've got quite a strong duo within both the teams today. You've got Camo and Eyes the Best. Obviously, Camo and Shane being championship protagonists. So, Aston Martin and AlphaTauri desperately need the points, but Aston Martin have a little bit of a comfortable lead going into the week. I think it was like an 80-point deficit. So Aston Martin can afford a little bit of collateral damage, but of course, they would prefer not to. Shane has been extremely consistent from what I've gathered from the season so far. Yuzgin, not too sure how Yuzgin's doing, but yeah, it's a real massive head-to-head between the teams, and it's only just getting better and better across all divisions.
yeah, obviously Yiskin's done a big step up from Division 5 champion last season up into Division 3, and he's done really well, if I'm honest. He's scored consistent points, which as a teammate towards the constructors, that's all you need really. I think next season he's going to be one for the title, if I'm honest. He has got some solid pace in him. But yeah, the Alpha Avatora teammate, Eyes the Best, he started the season really strong. I mean, he was leading the championship after the first 4 races, I think, but has fallen off, I think, just as his favourite tracks. He's struggled with these last few tracks, I think, whereas Cameron and Shane have come into their own, really. One man that has picked up ridiculous pace is the only man who set a valid time at the moment in Quirky Turtle. These last few weeks, he's been ridiculous. I think he's had a new Fanatec race wheel. And I mean, his kind of pace he's been setting would be Division 1 worthy. So watch out for some of his magic later on today.
Well, he's clearly displayed that as he's currently out-qualified championship protagonist Shane in Q1 by a half a second, which...
I think Shane must have made a mistake on that lap. That's not a competitive lap at this rate, I would say.
Oh, the grunt here! Frontier has put himself at the top of the
109,
table.
808. Grunty's had some very good races as well. He's won a race this season so far. His teammate in Slither and Me has just started a lap. No, he's not using any RS. So
And he's backed off. Oh, he's moved out the way. I think he's doing it for the imminent Eyes the Best in the AlphaTauri. And it looks like Eyes is not really bothering with a lap as well at the minute. I think he's
no ERS
backing
either.
off. Looks like FTR Moggs though is making an interesting choice on tyre, unless it's reflecting a prediction. However, FTR Moods has put on the intermediate tyres on his car, which is a little bit of a no-no if he's planning on using it to basically save his dry tyres.
Oh, is that in the pit? Oh yeah, okay. Everybody is safely through to Q2, so Eagle has just set a very slow lap to save his tyres and then pitted and retired. So, I mean, you can't blame him, really. As long as his lap's not too slow, we allow that. So 119 is acceptable. As Quirky Turtle is set to 109.6. In these kind of conditions where it's a bit overcast and looks a bit slippy, in Q1, that's a very competitive lap time.
Yeah, the track's not got quite as much wear into it as you would get in Q3. Obviously, the overcast weather will cause a little bit of cooler track surfaces, so it will make finding grip a little bit more difficult. Also, getting tyres up to temperature is a bit of a problem as well when you've got a bit of a cold track surface. But regardless, Quirky
Shane's
Turtle
gone very wide.
Turtle has made it stick, and Shane. It looks like the two championship rivals in terms of the overall team constructors were having a little cruise together. But Eyes has shot off into the distance and going through the final chicane.
Eyes is a second up on his lap time. He's going to want to be improving by more than a second.
Dicey on the exit. The rear did kick out like a donkey there. Crosses the line P3. I do think that probably would have been like maybe a 10-3. About a 10-3 maybe. But he just lost a little bit of the rear there going through the final chicane because I think he just caught too much curb.
So far, the only two drivers not to send a lap, we have Camo and Moggs. Moggs has seen sense and decided to come out on the soft tyres. Slither and Me obviously feeling very confident that we've got enough, not going to have any late joiners coming in as he retires on a 130.9.
Well, Moggs is beginning a flying lap in his Mercedes, and Yuzgin feels pretty confident with his lap. Obviously, he has no need to push. We have no one eliminated.
Shane is on a lap. Is Shane improving? Shane's nearly 4 tenths up on this lap at the minute.
On 3-lap old tyres. How's he doing that?
Yeah. So the beauty with Canada is your tyres don't really go off massively, if I'm honest. I think 4 laps is just under 3 tenths of tyre wear. So you can do back-to-back laps around here, really.
Oh,
so
Shane broke a little early there.
Chicane. A little early, but
still found
he took
time.
lots of curb.
But he did. I do feel if he would have probably braked a little later, he could have probably found at least another 10th or so. But he broke a little early because sometimes it's better to be a little bit safer because it's so particular with that chicane. You could brake late, a great line, but you hit the wall, or you might accidentally run too wide, and then the game will just take away your lap after putting all that effort in. So Shane taking a little bit of a safer approach to the chicane, but it still puts him P3, so a very good lap.
And especially in a session where you're guaranteed to get through, there's no need to take risks. You don't want to end up DNFing yourself and making yourself look like a right wally if you don't need to.
Well, I think Shane, being the sort of perfectionist that he is, does a lap. He's not pleased with it, even though he's safe. Goes back out, tries another lap. Yeah, that wasn't good. And goes for a third flying lap and does that 199.55, a very good one.
He's
and
also
Moggs,
been off in the hairpin again.
Moggs is actually up to 4th place. So Moggs has set a lap. Adam Lee has chosen to retire. I think he might be serving a ban probably, by the looks of it, a qualifying ban.
Yeah, it's a qualifying ban for Adam Lee after he got 20 points last week for being a very naughty boy in Budapest.
Also,
naughty.
Adam Lee having a little bit of work to do from the back of the grid, but considering there's only 12 cars, it's not like he's too far out the points, but it's just you've got to hope for a good start and a consistent race. Meanwhile, fellow championship protagonist Camo is also not out on a lap yet. Camo has. Oh,
Oh,
that's a
that is
risk.
risky. That's really risky. So, if viewers don't know, yes, obviously he's guaranteed to get through to Q3, but this game can sometimes be a bit of a bitch. And if you don't set a time in Q1 and retire, probably there's a 50-50 chance that it will put you 10th. Even if
Yeah.
you qualify first, it will discount your Q3 time and you'll start 10th. So
Oh,
that is
Camo.
risky.
Camo might have
What
just
a
shot
silly
himself massively in the foot there.
Billy. hmm hmm
But
I mean, it means that this will be a very quick session, which is
yeah.
nice.
I mean,
If
Shane's
Hamilton
probably
and Moggs
smiling in his
retire,
seat right now on any corner. She's like,
I
yeah,
mhm,
boys.
I think Camo has made a big mistake there. What a silly Billy.
Big boo-boo from
Right.
Camo, but right now the only people left in the session is Hamilton and Moggs. When I say Hamilton like that, it makes it sound like I'm talking about Lewis Hamilton, for God's sake.
Right. I'm actually going to put in the Div 3 chat to retire, please. I don't want to sit here.
Chris has says,
Right.
why the F has Camo risked that? Uh, we do not know. We do not know what processes through the brain of Camo there, what possessed him to do that, because it was similar in F1 2020. If you chose to just retire straight away, it could glitch you all the way to the back of the grid instead of just 10th. Actually, this game is a little bit more kind to you in that regard, because at least here you're in the top 10 or just outside of it. But in the last game, you didn't do it. Even if you qualified pole, you're going to the back.
hmm hmm As
So
we're waiting for Hamilton, a new driver. He goes by as Cooper in the Discord. I think he races in real life. I think I don't know what kind of racing he does. Maybe like stock cars or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, he's a newcomer to the league. I think this is his second race.
good to have
What I
him.
would like is for him to please retire, so we're not sat here looking at this grid for 5 minutes.
So,
Please.
give me a bit of the rundown on how you feel this season's been so far. Like, who's your money on, and like constructors and
Well, the
drivers?
start of this season, this in Division 3, for the first 5 races, we had 5 different winners, which was obviously always exciting. But there was a number of drivers that, even though they weren't winning those first 5 races, were always up there, and that is your Camo and your Shanes. They've consistently been the cream of the crop, really, if I'm honest, for this season so far. The consistency involved for those two to get the results in each week has been pretty phenomenal. Other outstanding drivers, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, Grunty. He's been very good this season. Eyes started the season very well. Eyes the best, and Quirky Turtle near the back end of the season has become very quick. Some drivers that I feel have been slightly unlucky. We've got obviously BHA Waiter, who's another com. He, on his day, has shown some real flashes of pace, but as always with him, gets way too many penalties and has been caught up in some unlucky incidents at times. The other driver who I think has been really unlucky so far this season is Slither and Me. On his day, he has shown some very, very quick pace. I mean, some pace that's been up there with some Division 2 drivers. He's just not quite been able to put it all together in one race or in one session so far this year, either with spinning it or getting penalties or whatever. So he's one that I'm actually going to put as a dark horse for next season for the title, if I'm honest. If he can just calm it down a bit, he's very, very quick. Um, but yeah, so my money on, if I had to put money down, well, the smart money for the to win the title, because he's got that 16-point gap, would be Camo. But you know what? I'm gonna say it's Mr. Phil Mitchell, Mr. Alan Murray, Mr. Al Murray, whatever he's called, RSF1 Shane, the boldy that is him. I think it's him, man. I think he's going to pull it out the bag, especially. Hamilton the
He's
ninth.
done it.
Especially if Camo's going to start 10th today. That's a tall order. Because
Exactly.
Canada is one of the tracks you do not want to be mid-pack. Because there will be safety cars, guaranteed.
There will be regarding
Hush,
the track.
what is the Cornish strategy, might I ask? Is that getting lapped? Or is it going through
How is
five
that the
wings?
Cornish strategy? The Cornish
I might
strategy was
I might
take
have had a
ahead so
nightmare.
fast last season that I would
Yeah.
be fighting for second place nearly if Alco
Hmm.
wasn't in the bloomin' race.
Yeah, you've not seen much of my performances in Div 2 this season. Primus, I've had an absolute shocker, if I'm honest. I have
Hey, at least you're a
technically,
champion, though. That's the main thing.
well, technically, I've crossed the line first in 2 races this season, but after penalties, I've dropped to ninth and sixth.
Oh
I've also,
no!
yeah, I've
You poor
also
bugger.
should have got, yeah, I've had a shocker. I think I'm on like 30 points. And at Canada on Monday, I had some really good pace, but I ended up changing my wings 6 times and getting lapped twice.
So you can't quite
So
do a 2011 Jensen Button back in Canada,
no,
where he had multiple incidents, including with his fellow teammate, having like 5
yeah.
pit stops and managing to overtake the leader on the last lap. So you haven't quite done a Jensen Button, have you?
Oh, that was incredible, wasn't it? Well, that when it just cut to Sebastian Vettel losing it round the corner, Hamilton's at now. That was unreal. Especially after. Did you watch that race live?
Well, with Sebastian Vettel and Jensen Button.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because the
I was
thing with
quite
watching
young.
that
I
race
was
live,
quite young at the time, so I didn't.
quite young. Wait. What were you born?
I'm 1996. I was 15 years
Mate,
old when that race happened.
Mate, I was born in 1994. I'm only 2 years older,
1996.
and I remember that vividly. It was 2011, wasn't it?
Here's a brutal, and honest, guilty admission here. When I was
Yeah.
younger, until I hit my late teens, I was not interested in Formula One. I
Okay.
found it boring when I was younger, but then after time went on and I grew more attached to cars, that's when I started watching it a lot more. I think I properly started watching it about 20. I'd say actually about 2013, when it was like the last of the Sebastian Vettel days, and I
Okay.
was supporting Weber. And then obviously,
Well, okay, that's fair enough.
and then the turbo
With
hybrid
that-
era. But then like, obviously that delved in my love for Formula One, and I basically just started looking through all of F1 history, and then obviously Ayrton Senna being my favourite driver of all time.
Yeah, 100%. Well, with that Canada race in 2011, it's the race that brought in the 2 hour window, because it was, I think for about 2 hours we were sat on a red flag because it had rained too much, and the whole race had taken about 4 hours to complete, and I just sat there on me Todd watching it on my telly, and I loved every minute of it. If I'm honest, it was brilliant. What I didn't love is at the start of that race, Jensen Button took out Lewis Hamilton on the pit straight, which was unbelievable. If you want it, anyone who's not seen it, go onto YouTube and just watch Lewis Hamilton, Jensen Button crash. Literally, if we're on board with Cooper here, it was right up against this wall. Jensen just squeezed Hamilton and completely took him out, which meant that Jensen had damage and had to pit. And then under the wet conditions, he was just unreal. And as you said, on the last lap, managed to overtake Vettel as Vettel made a mistake. It was an unbelievable race, one of the greats, if I'm honest. Jensen's best win, 100%. But yeah, I only started watching Formula One in 2010, so I was quite late to the F1 game, if I'm honest.
Well, by the sounds of it, then you do you agree about Ayrton being a favourite, or do you have another driver?
He's my favourite driver of all time. No, Ayrton Senna. Ayrton Senna will always be, in my opinion, the greatest natural driver, like the greatest natural talent. Like if he was in today's cars, he'd be the quickest one out there. I don't think anyone can argue that Lewis Hamilton is the GOAT, just because statistically he is the GOAT. But my favourite driver, and the driver who I think was most naturally talented, is Senna. Yeah.
Well, here's what I can say about every driver's got their pros and cons. So let me just go over some. Lewis Hamilton, yes, he is the current dominant driver of the V6 turbo hybrid era. And he has been winning a lot, obviously, other than Rosberg breaking his streak in 2016. But Lewis Hamilton has been pretty consistent in these cars, obviously suffering from very little reliability issues. And many of his problems have been crashing or being caught by someone. But then, but he has been doing really good. But the thing is remember back when Top Gear did a documentary on Senna? Some drivers, if they were lucky enough, they could find a tenth or two. Some of the really good drivers could find maybe a few tenths to half a second. But Ayrton could find more. He could find a second and a half nearly, and no one can compare to that in cars that, if you looked at his onboards, he is practically fighting the car. The car is like kicking out at every single moment he's driving it, and he is controlling it. And only recently I just discovered, when you listen to his onboards, listen to his car when he goes through a corner, he feathers the accelerator as he goes through corners, so the turbo lag doesn't kick in quick enough, so he doesn't lose power and can maintain full momentum with his car. That is skill in and of itself.
If you actually listen on board, as he goes round any corner, you'll hear the engine just go bum 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 bum, as that's what he was doing to rev up. It was unbelievable talent. Ayrton Senna was unreal.
Feathering the accelerator, and that is not just amazing, but brave in cars where even the slightest misapplication of throttle means you're in the wall. And cars that was made out
whilst
of...
we were chatting, Shane, Camo has done a 109.9 on medium tyres. Medium tyres are half a second quicker. That is a very quick lap. I was on board with all of that, and it looked very pretty. He actually is on another lap at the minute and has matched his middle sector.
Oh,
is he going to be able to improve in the last sector?
The bum of the car kicking out there as he got through the hairpin.
The bum was not happy.
It's like,
and his
conveniently, it is hump day.
His title rival is just over half a tenth behind. It's close between these two. It's close as Camo's coming up to the line. Has he improved?
Oh, he does, but just
he
about
does.
a tenth.
That's a very, very good lap. Wow. So if we just say he's going to take half a second off of those tyres, we're looking at a 109.3 on soft tyres at the minute. That's quick. That's really quick. F2 pole was a 108.9. So I would expect F3 to be 109.2s, 109.3s his pole, and it looks like Camo's there already. Could we see Camo get into 108s maybe?
It is a very big possibility. He's shown such amazing consistency. Shane's made a bold call. He's gone back into the pits, and Shane slapped on some softs.
Quirky Turtle is starting this lap. This man has been magic. Are we about to see another magic lap from Quirky? He goes a bit wide out of the exit of turn 2, but it did mean that he was able to get on the throttle nice and early. How's he going to do into these corners here? Oh, had a little bit of a twitch, but was controlled. That's okay. Coming into the start of Sector 2. He is purple, but he goes what? He completely misses that apex.
He does, and that will hurt the lap, especially with the fact is the gap between P6 and P3 is only 0.4 of a second, so that small mistake could mean everything to the lap.
Yeah, this isn't looking like a very quick lap, if I'm honest. It's looking like a tidy lap. Like there's not been anything I was about to say there's not been anything dramatic as he nearly loses the rear, or the rear like kicks out a bit. Let's see how this lap's going to be. How committed is he going to be into this final corner? Will he cut enough of the curb on the first one? Takes that very conservatively, but quick. It was quick. You can get away with cutting more throughout the side, but he comes up the line, sets a 110.255.
That could have possibly been a potential P4, maybe even P3, if he didn't miss that apex, because he could totally missed it, and that could have been a good chunk of time there.
Well, I don't know where we missed that, but Yuskin must have DNF'd, because he is out.
Is?
He set a 111 dead, but is out. So no way would he have retired in the pits with that time. So I think Yuskin has binned it.
And
They've missed that somewhere.
That's going to hurt Aston Martin, because that means in the top 10, Shane's got no support. That means he is completely outnumbered against the approaching AlphaTauri's as Eyes the Best is now going on his flying lap. Who would like the honours on this onboard?
You go ahead, mate. You go ahead.
Rightio, well, going into the first chicane here is where Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel had a very interesting come together, and actually he backs off right there. Has he got kind of halfway in and then just thought, nah. So I think Eyes might either take this time to recharge. Well, no, it doesn't even need to recharge. Just have a quick cool down and then another quick warm up. He has a little bit of time on his hands before the end of qualifying. He's got 5 minutes, but that's the question on, is he going to go on the same strategy as his teammate, or is he going to do the Shane tactic?
You've got to go mediums round here. You've got to go mediums round here. Unless the start of the race is wet, you've got to go mediums round here. Zarbrad, hello Zarbrad, mate. How come you're not racing tonight? What are you doing? I saw you ticked X, but you were here in the chat. Just not feeling like racing tonight, or are you doing anything exciting? Slither and me wants new comms. Well, that's a bit mean. What did I didn't slate you. I said you've been a bit unlucky this season, and I called you a dark horse for next season. What's wrong with that? What else did I say that was mean?
You've hurt his feelings now.
See, it's easy to hurt his feelings, Slytherin. He's a right numpty at times. I went to school with him, by the way, so I know him well. But yeah, he can be a right numpty at times. It's easy to hurt that boy's feelings. I was being nice to you. I was calling you a dark horse for next season, you silly tit. But Zarbad, I am sorry to hear you are having family problems. Hopefully they all get sorted out. If you've got time to sit down and chat away, sit down, watch the race. It'll be good to have you here. As Eagle retires, that is in the pit lanes. That's true.
Hamilton coming out of the chicane, hit the rear of the car on the wall of champions. No damage to the front though, but that could have been a very clean underpants or a moment there he would have needed. But yeah, it's a very interesting way to start the lap, and it does look like that little touch of the wall affected his forward momentum going in, and he's actually 2/10 down on time. Ooh. So even on soft tyres, he's struggling to connect it.
So close to the wall of champions, but as he comes up to the lines, that's a 1:10.2. Is that going to be enough to get him through? Hamilton is out on the soft tyres, as you said.
He's not improving though. And in reality,
Shane is out on softs. Shane is out on softs, everybody. Is he feeling under pressure? I would have thought. I mean, it's very close, isn't it? It is only 2/10 keeping him safe there. If I was him, I would have come back out on the mediums unless he doesn't think he can improve enough.
Just want to add on, by the way, I'm loving the beautiful tributes of the number 84 being donned onto the grid's cars. It is a lovely tribute to our fallen brother, Shrimper. And as Shane passes by that little sector zone, I can see a little yellow tyre just laying on the side of the road. I think that might be Yuskin's tyre.
Yeah, I think we discovered where Yuskin went off. Yeah, in regards to Shrimper, did you catch any of the stream we did for him on Sunday?
I got to catch a tiny bit of the Shrimper Cup stream, but unfortunately I couldn't get too much of it because I was working that entire weekend. So
that's fair enough.
I didn't get to. I would have loved to have taken part. I mean, I have done like long 12-hour events and all that, like not relating to tribute, but like I did endurance races with Waiter on Forza. So I've done
me.
And you, 12-hour and 24-hour endurance races. But unfortunately, I would have loved to have taken part, but because how awkward the rotor has been lately at work, I just couldn't do it, and it crushed me up inside, not being able to do it.
Well, if anyone watching hasn't seen it, it's all on the Discord. It's all on the Discord? It's all on the Twitch channel, all the separate videos. Obviously, we had 12 hours worth of streams going up. But so if you want to watch us watch GTA, play a bit of Forza, anything like that, that's all on there. And of course the main event of the evening was the Shrimper Cup, the 3-race tag team event. If you want to see that, it's all up on there for your enjoyment. I did just catch Shane nearly lose it in the middle sector. He is safe. He's safe. Everyone else behind him's retired.
He's still gone purple, but I don't see why he's still going.
Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me. Could this be... He's safely through. He doesn't need to do it.
No!
But he's done it anyway.
What's Shane doing?
Oh, Shane.
I mean, that's an astonishing lap, but that is probably going to be... I thought Camo shot himself in the foot with retiring early in Q1. I think Shane just shot himself in the foot starting on softs.
Oh dear.
And Hamilton...
What has he done?
Hamilton is back out on the track. He's got 10 seconds to go as he's just approached the final straight. Well, no, the second to last straight, and he has ran out of time. So Hamilton is out.
So that is
something I would have loved to
Q2,
heard in real life.
ladies and gentlemen. The three people going out. Adam Lee, obviously, because of his qualifying ban. We've then got Mr. Yuskin, who decided to bin it into a wall in Sector 2, and Hamilton, who just ran out of time. Time for a very interesting Q3. If you look at the bunch of medium times there, they are close. They are really close in time. I think we could be watching a very entertaining battle for pole here. Current favourites? I'm gonna go with for pole. I can't look past Quirky. I know he's not had a great showing in Q2 here, but for pole, I'm going with Quirky. Who are you going for, Linus?
I know obviously I shouldn't be favouring my constructor's overall rival, but my money's more leaning towards Shane. He had a major mistake in that lap there where he almost lost the rear, and he still went fastest in the second sector, obviously most of the grid being on medium tyres. Shane lost a lot of time, but he still went top of the table and actually beat Waiter by a substantial time. So I have to say I've got a little bit of faith in Shane in there. Not saying that the other drivers can't do it, but Shane's... Something's saying to me that Shane's going to go for pole here. So I'm going to hedge my bets on him.
Okay. Do you know what? I wouldn't look past Shane to get a pole. As you said, that is a very competitive time, especially with his track loss. The other ones that could be up there, we've got Grunty, we've got Camo, potentially Waiter if he can improve his bit of time, and Slytherin. And I've just listed off the grid.
Well, yeah, it's like...
But my favourite's Quirky. I think he's going to pull something magical out of the bag here. I think we'll be seeing a 108.
So
if we see a 108, I'll be very impressed.
In terms of the race as well, here's obvious people who are going. We know who are going to fight hard for the win. Camo and Shane. Granted, come on. Quirky Turtle. He's quite a quick driver, but I have commentated over Division 2 for a while, where Waiter used to be, and he actually won a couple of times in Canada. So Waiter quite likes Canada. And speaking of Waiter, he's the first out onto the track. So I'm going to say Waiter could be a potential dark horse candidate today in this race, because in Canada, it's one of the tracks where you really see Waiter open up. Because I know he has a lot of bad luck in other races, but I have seen Waiter claim 2 victories in my time as a commentator here in Canada in RSF1. So I'm not going to rule him out.
The only reason why I am ruling Waiter out is 2 words. Sorry, make that 3 words. Corner, cut, penalty. Waiter will not be winning this race. If Waiter wins this race, I will eat my hat. I've got a lovely...
Oh, I thought he was going to say Clarkson. I was like, if he wins it, I'll eat my own head.
I will actually, if Waiter wins that, I will eat my woolly hat. Because no 2 ways about it, Canada is one of the trickiest tracks for penalties, especially with this little chicane at the end. And then not only that, there's also the chicane in the first sector and the second sector. This track is a nightmare. No, he will 100% be getting at least 6 seconds of penalties, and I think that would lose him the race.
Well, on board with Waiter, one of the big voices of the comms team in RSF1. Obviously, you know, we have like people like Tomo and Ben and all that, but Waiter going into the first sector. It's not the fastest first sector. Oh, so yeah, no, he's No, sorry, he's not even hit the end of the first sector zone. My bad.
He has hit the end of the first sector.
Oh, he's not gone
He's now in the
purple.
second sector.
But he
ignore the purples. The gate on this game is still broken. As he's coming into the end of second sector, he said a 41.5. I have no idea if that's a good second sector. It says purple.
It's more the benchmark at the moment.
To be fair, he is going to be purple because he's the first driver on the track. So every sector he's done is going to at least be purple for 10 seconds or so until anyone goes through. How will he do this final chicane though? How much track will he cut? He takes a lovely big cut. That is exactly how you want to do it. He hugs the right hand line, comes up to the line and sets a 109.7.
That's pretty much matched Q2 time.
He's going to have to improve on that if he wants to get pole. And we have Quirky Turtle with a 109.3.
Really? Half a second faster. That's impressive.
Goes a 109.5. We've then got behind. We've got FTR Moggs coming up to the line. 109. That's 109.8. Not bad. And then Eyes Best behind. He invalidated. Mr. Shane, the title contender, through the final chicane beautifully. Hugs the right hand line. This isn't looking quick though.
No, he's only got
it's a 110.5.
He's actually out of the 9s.
Eagle. Next up to the line, sets a 109.6. That's a decent little lap time.
Just barely faster than Waiter.
Slithering me behind, invalidated, but Jamie's coming up to the line. Oh, okay, massively slow.
I think he actually he backed off through that lap near the end, and because you can see by his battery, he did back off quite late. But he is retrying that.
Mr. Waiter invalidated his next run.
I do have to say,
Quirky Turtle is on a cooldown.
Not just the tributes to Shrimper, which is lovely. The George Russell helmets, obviously people have been wearing them as tribute to... Oh, Jamie's crashed!
Grunty's coming up to the line. It's a 109.5 by Grunty. Where has Jamie binned it?
Jamie's binned it just after the first chicane.
Okay, on board with Quirky. We should be able to see Jamie's car as Quirky's on a lap.
Invalidated. Oh, he's on the apex!
Oh, dear.
Oh my god,
they're being
get
safe
out
and
of there.
cautious through there. Oh my goodness me. So Jamie this season has DNF'd in qualifying more times than he hasn't.
Oh my god, that's not a statistic he would be happy with.
I think for the first half of this season he only made it out of Q1 twice because he DNF'd.
Oh,
that's been I've been purposefully not watching Jamie on board because every time I've watched him on board, I put him off and he bins it. So today I thought I wouldn't, and he still binned it. So you can't blame me today, Jamie. You can't blame me today.
Going back on what I was saying before Jamie ate the wall there, I am liking the touching helmet tributes to, which was obviously a Williams helmet, to the late Sir Frank Williams, a huge pillar of the F1 community in terms of strength, perseverance, and pure dedication. So
sorry to cut in, but Ice is on a decent lap here as he goes a 109.6.
Out qualifies Shane, and that's the crucial bit. Shane's got to really put in a belter here. And as we say that, Shane is now coming out of the pit lane as his championship rival Camo has come out of the pits onto an outlap and is getting himself ready. Meanwhile, Sliverin...
Yeah, everyone else on a lap is invalidated. So I imagine Sliverin will be pitting this lap. So I think Shane will be our next driver on one. Unless Eyes is doing another back-to-back.
I think Camo will be the next driver, actually, because
he is, yeah.
Shane's just hitting the second DRS zone.
Yeah, behind him. Oh, so the only two drivers on track at the moment, well, we'll ignore Eyes.
Are the championship protagonist. Who needs Hamilton and Verstappen when you've got Camo versus Shane?
Exactly. So, Camo... He would have lost a little bit of time for the start of this lap, but luckily the run down to turn 1 is minimal. How's he going to take turn 1? He could have taken more curb there, but it was a cautious approach.
Lost the rear.
But he loses the rear end down at turn 2. That definitely would have lost him time into the first bit of chicane. That
quite
is
nicely cut.
Beautiful through there. What's his first sector looking like? It's looking like a 19.4.
If I quickly have a little look compared to Quirky Turtle, 19.4 compared to Turtle's 19.2. That is
Wow.
just 2/10 off of the pole time's first sector. Oh!
Whoa! Through there. I'm going to go back to Shane, sorry. How is Shane's first sector looking like? Shane comes up to cross the first sector line. Sets a 19.2 for Shane. Shane has matched Quirky's first sector. What was Camo's second sector?
41.2. That was a good second sector from
41.2.
Camo. So it's a 21.7 though in terms of the actual sector time. Oh, Camo right in the curbs. He almost jumped the car over them.
Shane has matched Camo's second sector.
Oh,
Camo sector 192. Provisional pole as it stands, but Shane is on a flyer here. At least 2/10 up from Camo at the minute. Could this be a 108? How's he going to do this final chicane? Brakes at the 75-metre board. Oh! Went in a little deep, but managed to keep it within the limits and not hit the wall. Comes up to the line, sets a 109.6. That is unlucky for
that
Shane
lap
there.
though. 0.8 of a second recovery after that first lap, but Shane is kind of done at this point nearly. He has to pray he gets back to the pit lane as fast as he can, and if he's got any tyres left, to put them on. Otherwise, he will start in sixth place.
He's okay. He's got enough fuel, so he's going to do a cool down lap now, rebuild that ERS, and he's going to go for it on the next session, on the next lap. I felt myself, if I'm honest, that the tyres, even though the Delta says they're not quicker on the second run, I actually felt I went quicker on the second run. Camo's pitted. Camo does have enough time to come out on fresh soft if he's got them. The next driver on a lap is going to be Mr. Slytherin Me. Can he set his first lap of the day? His first sector was a 9. Oh, he hit the wall. Oh, Slytherin. Hopefully he's gotten away with damage. His first sector was a good one. That's a real shame for Slytherin there, though. Has he got damage? As no one else is on a lap at the minute. Can we see? Zach, you're listening. Give us a little wiggle if you have damage. I'm going to guess, because he's not wiggled, he doesn't have damage, so he's going to start another lap. There we go.
Wiggle.
Nicely done through the final chicane. Again, he's still going to be the only driver on a lap, so let's keep on board as he comes into the first corner. That's the amount of curb you want to take. That was lovely done through there. Keeps it in second gear, doesn't opt to drop down to first. Nice on the exit, coming into the first chicane. The tricky corner, as you like it. He had to get a bit out of the front there, so he didn't hit the wall on the exit. So this isn't perfect, yet he's 4/10 up. He's backed out of it. He's got enough fuel to go again. He does have enough fuel to go again. So he's going to go for the next lap. That will be his final attempt. So Eagle is on a lap. Just ahead, Eagle in the second sector. I missed his first sector time. Let's see what it's going to be. Is he improving as he comes into the third sector? Oh, he's a 10th up, so he's not quite improving. We have a yellow flag. That looks like one of the AlphaTauris and Slytherin having a bit of a ding dong.
And
back to Eagle.
Eagle rocking the Williams helmet tribute. Obviously, everyone likes George Russell lately. He's been a very good F1 driver, doing great for Williams this season, getting good points. The team hasn't gone for a while, but can Eagle do the same as George Russell could? Crosses the line. He does not improve.
Eagle,
only just
by the
barely
way,
misses.
Eagle was our winner of Hungary last week. So he's on good form at the minute. He won by Quirky Turtle by, I think it was a 10th. It was really, really close as FTR Morgs improves on his lap time to go a 109.7.
He's the best going again.
Quirky Turtle is starting a new lap. Camo is on an out lap.
So Quirky is following Eyes, and this is the bad part for Quirky here. Quirky invalidates his final flying lap. Quirky will not be taking provisional pole. That is done. He has gone invalid.
Eyes has backed out. So that's Eyes gone. Grunty's invalidated. So Grunty's gone. He
Shane made it.
Is it just... Ooh, he just made it in time. So the only drivers that can currently battle out for pole is Camo, Shane, Waiter, and Moggs. No, Moggs is out of it as well.
So only
it's
three
a
cars.
two-way battle.
The two championship protagonists and Waiter.
Oh,
Waiter!
Waiter nearly loses it.
He almost hits the wall, but recovers it nicely. That was too close for comfort, but the fastest second sector from Waiter regardless.
Let's get crack on board with Camo. How's Camo's lap looking? I missed his middle sector time, so I have no idea.
Well, let's have a little quick look at Camo.
Shane is 2.5 tenths up. That's not enough at the minute.
Camo
Can
did
he
a
find more time in the last
19.3 in sector 1 and a 21.8. So only just barely half a tenth slower.
Waiter's invalidated the Muppet. So it's all down to Camo and Shane. Camo beautifully through the last chicane. Oh, he's doing a wiggle. He's down. He's not happy.
And Shane round the final corner. Can he deny Camo that pole? Yes, he can.
A 109 death by the championship protagonist. What a lap that was.
Oh my God.
What a Q3 session that was. What a lap.
Oh,
Shane
you could
must
just
have found
see
an
the frustration
incredible-
from Camo there. He qualifies second. I mean, if he doesn't get relegated down because of the game, let's face it, being a bit of an arse, if the game is kind to him, Camo will be behind his championship rival, which is not a bad thing, because do remember, Shane is on softs, which was a very, very questionable move, and Camo's on the medium, so technically Camo is the leading medium running car.
Yeah, Shane must have found an incredible amount of time in that last sector
screenshot
because he was only 2 tenths up in the second sector. So he found another 4 tenths alone in that final sector. And considering that final sector is basically a straight, one hairpin, a straight, and a chicane, that's incredible to find 4 tenths. What a lap!
That is such a mega lap, because for a minute there, Shane was sitting in sixth, not such a comfortable position. Let's have a little quick look at the race director, and it has happened. Camo's been relegated to 12th place.
Camo, you utter silly Billy. All you had to do was go out and set a lap, even if it was a slow lap. But no, you were cocky, and it's bit you in the arse. What will this do to his championship
Someone has
fight?
readied up before the host, which means we will be getting an early start unless a restart is called. I don't know how it goes nowadays because I've been a little bit out of the comms loop.
I think everyone will be safe unless anyone's going to unless everyone's having a piss. We'll be starting. But Camo, he's going to be kicking himself.
Well, he has got a bit of work to do, but here's the kicker. He's out of the top 10, and he's the only person outside of the top 10 who's starting on their Q2 tyre. That's going to hurt.
Well, I don't know what's going to work. Maybe he'll be allowed to start on fresh with the glitch.
No, I don't think he will. He's still on the mediums that he chose to use, which means that... who's doing the formation lap, by the way?
You take us through the formation lap, I'll do the start of the race.
Right, going over the classification of qualifying on the formation lap here, starting in dead last in the race, only 13 cars, so it's not exactly too far back. Adam Lee in the Mercedes, after serving his qualifying ban, is now finally on the track in his Mercedes. I bet he's a little bit pleased with that. In 12th place is a championship protagonist who qualified in 2nd place but decided to be a bit of a wally and not set a lap in Q1, starts 12th. And that's Camo in 12th, sorry. And in 11th place, the only hard compound runner is RSF1 Yuzkin in the Mercedes, and then the Aston Martin, sorry. A very big risk on a track like this. I don't think this is a hard, viable track.
No, it's possible to do medium soft. I've done a medium soft. So I don't know why he's going to be hard.
That's a big risk, but that's what he's choosing to do. Hamilton in 10th on the soft compound tyre. He's got fresh soft compound tyres, so he's going for an aggressive start. Jamie 9th after crashing in Q3. Sliver and Me is in 8th place. 7th is Waiter. Waiter is in 7th. Yep, he's in 7th on his soft compound tyres. 6th is Eyes the Best. FTR Moggs is in 5th. Grunt here, 4th. Eagle 3rd, so he's been promoted to 3rd place after Camo's relegation to 12th. Quirky Turtle is in 2nd place, a very aggressive person who will make the race leader Shane sweat going into the opening stages of the Canadian Grand Prix. Because yes, Shane's got the fresh tyre, he's got the soft tyres. Yes, he's the champion, one of the championship protagonists. But as you say, Quirky's found form with his brand new wheel, and he has been making himself known to be a threat, and that is definitely going to be a thing today. And I reckon Shane's going to be a little bit scared of Quirky's run if Quirky can get the best start ever.
So I'm going to do another tribute to Mr. AJ, and I'm going to attempt to do his race start procedure. Last time I failed and destroyed my voice, so I'm not going to go as hard this time. I'm going to go a little bit more conservative, as we have 13,000 horsepower lining up on the grid, waiting to start down to the grid, and they're going. No!
What a start!
Shane got a horrendous start. Quirky start with a beautiful start. Shane's getting swallowed by Eagle and Grunt. Oh, Shane! Shane's been taken around.
And
dear!
what's crucial is both the AlbertAuris past Shane. The championship protagonist is down to 10th. Camo, what a start from 12th to 7th. But I saw exactly what happened there. And Quirky, what a run! Shane was so choppy off the launch. Quirky just went, look, mate, I can see you Scooby-Dooing on the spot there, mate. I'm just going to take the lead. Cheers. Quirky, what a start. But Shane is going to feel that after a monumental qualifying lap in Q3, is now feeling the grief of the first lap. And
not only
down
that,
in 10th.
is he down to 10th, but he's on the soft tyres in 10th as well.
He had a bit of a half spin as well
be
because of those hits, so that will not have treated the tyres well.
Oh dear, oh dear. What this will allow is for Quirky to run away with it now. Quirky's going to be loving that. Camo, obviously, as you rightly said, improving from 12th to 7th.
Waiter?
That is an unbelievable start.
7th
that is
to
a
4th
5-position.
Waiter.
Wow. They were lucky. Obviously, Shane was on the inside, so anyone that decided to go around the outside was able to just get easy positions. Jamie has pitted because he had no wing. He obviously got caught up in the Shane incident.
Oh,
Shane
Mercedes as well, and that's costly because they can't do the double stack, but Adam Lee can't just stay out with no wing, so this is going to really hurt Mercedes.
Oh dear. So apparently, in the chat, I'm being told that Shane had the minus 200-degree tyre glitch, which would explain why he had a horrendous start.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
That's awful. It was a thing on last year's game. I didn't know it was a thing on this year's game, as Eagle has overtaken Waiter.
You mean Waiter's overtaken Eagle? I think Eagle's prioritising Waiter's soft compound tyre. Let him get the most out of it, because Waiter's actually catching Grunty. You wouldn't have thought it earlier after you made jokes, but Waiter is actually fighting for second place and catching the leader.
One thing I'd like to point out is Shane is now back up into 8th, one position behind Camo. Are we going to be seeing a fight between these two coming up? Camo is getting very
trying to break
close
the toe
to
on
Camo behind. All through the chicane, nicely done.
Oh, Camo hits the wall!
Camo was so close to the wall. He didn't hit it, but he was bloody close.
That's going to
This is the closest battle at the minute. Shane hunting him down on those soft tyres. Shane is going to be furious with the game for giving that glitch. Both championship protagonists are furious with the game's glitches. But it's going to give us an entertaining battle, and that's all we care about.
Camo is probably getting a little bit frustrated as well, because Slytherin is actually causing him to get backed up, and it's allowing Shane to now make the challenge, because Shane's not actually getting the DRS assistance. Oh no, he is. It's just the green bar didn't appear on my screen. But
Shane on these soft tyres. These soft tyres are good for the first 4 or 5 laps. So he's going to want to get past Camo now if he can.
Oh, look at the run he's getting. Camo loses the hairpin.
Gets on the throttle nice and early. Oh, he's got more ERS than Camo as well, only by 10%. But that 10% round here can make all of the difference.
No,
surely not.
Not here.
There, what did I say? Waiter getting a penalty.
Waiter's collected the first penalty of the day, but the fastest lap of the race so far. And never mind, Shane just instantly swipes that.
Camo was thinking about the inside of Slytherin there. But
Loses the
on the throttle. That's going to let Shane. Oh, I thought Shane might be thinking about coming into this chicane there. Both of them know that they can't do anything risky. They've got to keep it safe. They've got to score consistent points today.
Sliverin's got a penalty as well.
Oh dear, this track is a penalty fiend.
And I reckon these are only just the start of the mountain of penalties that will soon come, because we got close battles, and one of them, we thought these two would be fighting at the front of the pack, but instead they're fighting in the middle of the pack. Camo and Shane are fighting it out, and look at this, Sliverin's actually catching up to the other AlphaTauri. Look at the duking out they're doing for P5.
I must have made a mistake during that lap, because Sliverin gained a huge amount of time.
Here comes Shane. Shane's, I'm going to go and do a better frontline speed, but it's not enough.
Oh, Slytherin is so close to eyes as well. Oh,
Waiter!
Yellow flag! Waiters! Oh, Waiter, you silly Billy! He's lost it on the final
and that's
chicane.
not going to be a safety car, because he's back on the track and he's got moving again. So no safety car, which Shane is probably praying for at the minute. But Waiter has basically just awarded everyone underneath him a free position, and Williams some valuable points.
Waiter is going to be kicking himself. He was doing so well. He was closing in Grunty on his soft tyres, but he must have just overheated them and took too much curb. What a muppet!
And Sliverin is gaining on Eyes, but Eyes is fighting like a lion, defending from the Alfa Romeo, hoping that he can buy his teammate the momentum and might do the right move in terms of the championship and let Camo by, but Eyes can only do that when Camo gets there. In the meantime, though, Shane has managed to
very
get
deep round the chicane.
Look at that tremendous line from Camo. I think this is the move that Camo has been waiting for.
Easy peasy.
No, Sliverin's not making it easy. Who's backing down? Camo needs this for the championship, and it looks like Sliverin just backs off for a minute, but look at that beautiful overtake, and Camo gets the DRS assistance still, so he can still stay with his teammate, and Sliverin can't retake the position as easy. And this is what Camo needs. Sliverin to separate the two, and Shane's getting a look already.
Corner as well. Surely Shane's not.
No way.
Sliverin backs
that was
out of it. That is
supposed to
sensible
be
from Sliverin.
Shane getting held up, but Sliverin didn't even bother fighting that. Shane instantly up a position and now back on the chase.
What's important for Shane as well is his tyres are going to be going off at this stage now, so he just needs to stick with Camo. I don't think we'll be seeing him making any moves on Camo at this stage. He just needs to stay with it, keep within the DRS and let Camo. Exactly, his tyres are starting to go off. If he can get back within that DRS range, he can just hope that his teammate that Camo will pull him along. That's his best bet at the minute, I think.
2 retirements, but both of them in the pit lane as per the rules, so well done to the two for correctly following the correct retirement procedure. And as it stands, 2 cars out, 11 left.
Boys. Around this track, you're guaranteed safety cars, so I don't know why you retired so early. That's a bit of a bad show.
Grunty might have damage. He's chosen to box this early. Yeah, a new wing.
Yes, he's
Grunty's
got
hit
damage. I don't think that'll be the first wing change we'll be seeing. I think we'll be seeing lots of wing changes coming up.
Sliverin's attacking Shane.
Yeah, Shane's soft tyres are really struggling at this stage. The problem with them is they just overheat. The actual wear, they don't wear that much. He'll only be on like 30% wear, but they just overheat, and you end up losing so much performance compared to the medium tyres. So he's going to be really struggling at the minute.
And the 2 cars are benefiting in terms of the championship. The teammates aren't playing the team game. You would have thought maybe Eyes would have prioritised Camo, but Camo was not doing enough to catch his teammate. Never mind, as I say that, he just backs off and lets Camo by, but Camo was actually losing time. But the problem is with Eyes and Camo doing the swap, they have to rely on giving each other that boost to stop Shane from capitalising on his teammate backing off to give the position. And never mind to that, Camo is giving the beautiful slipstream to his teammate, and Shane only just barely able to get a smell of some clean air. It goes into the pit lane, and Eyes collect a penalty.
I'm not going to lie, it looked like he made a mistake when he did that, but obviously he intended to pit.
He might have tried to maybe get a look, but then he just backed off for the last moment and just said, you know what, fresh tyres. And Shane, he's made a ballsy move, soft.
Wow, that is ballsy. Using his, I think that's got to be a mistake.
That
Surely you'd
must
want
be a
your soft
mistake. You
tyres
do
to the
not want
end.
to be using softs 2 times. He will be on old
Well,
softs.
uh, Shane's made some confusing tactical
I mean, yeah, given right
choices,
now,
but
he is going to be faster than any other car on the grid, but for how long?
what I think Shane's going to be hoping for, the tactic he's going to be going for now, is he's got to hope that there's a safety car around lap 15, which means he can pit and take mediums to the end. Other than that, I don't know what he's going to do.
He's made a
I feel that's
big
a big
move there.
I mean, it's a ballsy move.
It is
You've got to
ballsy.
rate the balls on the man.
Do you remember that, like, we had one person who thought it was an extremely ballsy move. Division 1, Japan, Mr. Pigeon Munch, when everyone put on wets and Pigeon was on the inters, and Pigeon destroyed everyone in terms of, like, when he made his pit stop, he was way far ahead that he could take a pit stop and still come out in the lead. So we could have seen a legendary gamble here from Shane, or it could be a massive cock-up, but we'll find out momentarily as Shane passes Moggs and gets the move done up into 8th place. Moggs can barely retaliate with his old soft compound tyres, and Shane now chasing Grunty, but that's not an easy pass because Grunty is a very skilled driver.
At the minute, I actually think Camo is holding up his teammate a little bit. Slytherin's been able to close that gap back into the two little AlphaTauris. Has Eyes made a mistake letting Camo pass? Would he be better trying to pull along Camo instead of protecting him from behind? I don't know. Interesting tactics though.
Very, very interesting calls. Quirky, meanwhile, is not exactly as far as the lead as I thought he would be at this point. Eagle has done a brilliant job of maintaining the gap as 2 seconds. So,
well, as I said,
one's gained nor lost.
Eagle was our winner of Budapest last week, and Quirky was second. So at the minute, it's those two up front again. Slytherin, though, slowly trying to close on the AlphaTauris ahead. How's Shane's lap been? This is surely going to be the fastest lap of the race. As he crosses the line, Tete, he doesn't. Set to 1:11.6. But I'm surprised that wasn't purple. He must have made a mistake.
Slytherin catching Eyes. This is not what AlphaTauri wants. And this is again where the teammates are not playing a team game here, because Eyes let Camo go thinking Camo could go, but Camo's actually impeding him.
Do you know what? Can you have a look at on the race director? Did Shane change his wing in the pits? Because that was way too early to pit for another set of softs. Did he change his wing? If you go to pit stops on the race director. Oh, Slytherin with another penalty.
Yeah, he's soft as it is at the minute.
But it hasn't said if he changed his wing.
No, it hasn't said anything. Let's go to, for example, Grunty, who has changed the wing.
He did. So if you press start, right, and go to race director and scroll across the pit stops, Shane changed his wing.
He did!
He got damaged somewhere. So that would explain why he pitted so early.
That is
right,
big.
Okay.
Okay, I didn't even know that was a thing, so thank you for teaching me that.
Yeah, no problem.
But that is mega then, because Shane could have not compromised, but utilised those softs for as long as possible, but it looks like Shane was actually losing out, and he was actually still keeping up with the AlphaTauri, but he was actually impeded by damage. That might have been, though, from the opening lap.
Potentially. I tell you what, if that was from the opening lap, he did absolutely unbelievably well to go that long and battle that
and to retake positions. He was a monster.
Yeah. If that's where he got the damage, then fair play. And Eyes is still all over the back of Camo.
Shane is not safe.
Willing him along down the track.
Shane's not safe, though.
Camo is now only 1.5 seconds behind Eagle. He is closing the gap to the front two.
And Camo is dragging his teammate with him.
Yeah. And they've gapped Slytherin a little bit. Obviously, Slytherin's just still winning the DRS.
Choppy from Camo. That was a little bit of a bad exit. Squirrely coming out. But he's still keeping it going.
Kachow in the chat says, Eyes hasn't got a choice. He joined their party and heard Camo screaming, Multi 21! Multi 21! So Eyes has got no choice but to sit behind Camo at this time being. We have a yellow flag! Yes, kid's out!
That's big for Aston Martin!
Oh,
they're a car
safety
down!
car.
And that's a
This
safety
is
car
huge!
deployed! And this
This
what's
is huge
beautiful.
for Shane.
Shane now has to,
Oh.
obviously he's put on new softs with that wing change, but he is way too far back to jump the Aston Martin, the AlphaTauri's in the pit. This has, and Slytherin's crashed under the safety car.
No, you haven't, Slytherin. What a silly Billy!
And that is big.
Oh dear.
Because obviously that
That's
gives Shane
huge.
a position back, but Shane now can't jump the AlphaTauri's. They've got a free stop, and they're waiter speeding. Naughty.
Oh,
but look at the
waiter.
AlphaTauri. They've left enough sufficient space. We could see a double stack. Oh, let's monitor this to see if this is a beautiful textbook.
What's Shane gonna do here? Because
No,
mediums.
that's not good. Eyes has gotten held up. Camo onto the softs. Eyes got softs
but
on as well.
he had such a gap. I think he's fine.
Here comes
'Cause the only
Shane.
person that Eyes could have lost the position to was
Oh no, this is
Slytherin,
big.
but Slytherin binned it.
Shane
So
splits
Shane
the
stays
AlphaTauri,
out.
but Shane doesn't pit. What is going through Shane's mind right now?
Surely he'd have to gamble on trying to get to the mediums to the end from here. Surely that would be this sensible strat, but obviously not. So what is it? It's 22 laps. You're going to be on the safety car for 2 laps, so it's only really 20 laps of pushing. You definitely can get mediums 20 laps. I'm really surprised Shane hasn't pitted again. Obviously, Quirky Turtle in the lead of the Quirky's gone from another set of mediums, by the way. Obviously, he started on mediums.
No, that is
and
big.
He's now gone on to another set of mediums.
That he
Eagle
still
behind.
has to pit.
Well, Eagle behind started on mediums and has gone on to the soft, as has Camo and Eyes. So they've all got to pit. So Shane on 5-lap old tyres on these softs, he's got another 5 laps of life in these tyres, I'd say, of decent performance.
A
He's
little
gonna
bit
pray
more.
for-
A little bit more of this safety car.
Yeah, but he's already done 5 laps.
True.
So he's just going to... And the fresh softs are going to be so much quicker. Because the softs do drop off in performance. He's just got... And because he's not going to have DRS for 2 laps, I think Shane's going to fall back quite a gap here before they pit again.
Tell you what, Aston Martin's woes are AlphaTauri's gains, as Shane may have split
Waiters
the
pitted
2.
again.
Shane may have split the 2, but Eyes has fresh tyres, so he might make short work of Shane. But do keep in mind, though, and I'm not going to doubt Shane here, he had wing damage and still fought with such grit in the opening laps of the Canadian Grand Prix. So we can't rule Shane out, but it is, in paper, a very one-sided battle with 6-lap-old softs versus 1-lap-old soft under the safety car.
Yeah, I would imagine he's going to be pitting by lap 20 at least. So,
and that's risking it.
It's interesting. It's very interesting from. Do you know what? If I was Shane, I would pit now because he's only going to be ninth.
Yeah, exactly. Just
and
get some work done.
He's going to be one of the only drivers to get to the end. I think the only driver ahead of him that's going to the end is Hamilton on the hards, and Moggs, which he's quicker than, and Grunty. So the only real challenge of people ahead of him that are going to go to the end is Grunty. And then he can go, he doesn't have to pit again, everyone else ahead of him has to. Surely the sensible decision is to pit by Shane.
Well, the longest
Surely, if you're listening,
Shane stays
Shane,
out,
pit.
if Shane stays out though, like their safety car is probably going in. Because look how the gap
It's not
between
in this
Quirky
lap, I
and
don't
the
think.
car.
Oh, maybe it is in.
We haven't maybe we haven't gotten the prompt, but the safety
We haven't
car.
had the notice. Is it in?
No, it's not.
No,
He's
no,
just
no, no,
keeping
no.
a very far. Oh, it's an Aston Martin safety car. Nice.
I love the Aston Martin.
There he goes. Shane in the pit
There,
lane.
what goes? Shane's done it. Shane's done it. What a sensible boy. Obviously, he probably should
tyre,
have
though?
done it at the start of the safety car. You've got to go mediums to the end. Brand new set of mediums, easy to the end from here.
So that means Shane is
Yes, he's
listening
going
to
to have
us.
to battle now. Well, Either Shane or someone with some sensors in his eyes and has told him to pit.
If he is listening to us, and if he does get on the podium, I expect him to at least say hi back to me. And that is challenging him to see if he's listening. But anyway, he puts on fresh mediums, which is crucial because we're still under the safety car condition.
Obviously, he's got a battle with Waiter ahead of him, but Waiter does have a drive-through. Shane is going very, very slowly. You can't do this, Shane. What are you doing? This is slower than what you'd have if you had a Delta. Come on, boy. Get back up to the safety car.
Shane is playing a very unique strategy call here because he backed off so far. We only recently saw this from Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas.
Yeah. He's trying to get. Oh, the safety car is in.
Oh.
Can he close that? He's gonna have very warm tyres.
Oh.
And obviously he's gonna have to be careful because I imagine Waiter's gonna want to serve his drive-through penalty straight away. So he's gonna have to make sure he avoids Waiter into this final chicane, take his time, and just go through the grid at his own pace. He's gonna be quicker than the people directly in front of him. So we'll see. But the person who's going to be loving life at the minute is Grunty. Obviously, can go to the end now, and he's in 5th.
Not just that, but Camo as well, because everyone in front of Shane can go to the end. Obviously, Waiter will have to serve that drive-through immediately, otherwise he will be disqualified from the Grand Prix.
When's Quirky going to go? Quirky can go from any second now through the final chicane, and he's gone. He's gone.
But Eagle was right on it.
Someone pitted. Waiter.
Eagle was right on it. Eagle has not lost any time at all and is immediately attacking Quirky and breaks a little deep going into turn 2, which means Camo can now get a little sniff at this action.
We have Shane trying to get his way through all over the back of Moggs. Moggs was having a little think about getting past Hamilton there.
And a gap's already forming between Hamilton and Grunty. The longer Shane's stuck behind these, the more it's going to affect Shane's later performance. But Hamilton has a wiggle.
Hamilton gets a bit of a wobble.
And it's side by side. Moggs is getting a look on the inside.
Up the inside.
Oh, what's a move.
Oh, what an overtake. That's a really difficult corner to overtake. As we've got Camo as well, closing in on Eagle into the breaking point of the hairpin.
Hamilton just tried to shut the door on Shane.
Oh, Shane's too wise to be able to be shut the door on there. Lovely overtake by Shane. Shane's charge is underway.
And
Camo
now
lost a bit of time on the exit from Eagle there.
Remember the last time Shane and Moggs saw each other? Shane was on Fresher Soft and Moggs was on Warner Soft.
Camo's made a mistake into the chicane. He nearly went plummeting into the rear end of Eagle. That lost him a lot of time. And luckily it's his teammate behind him. Otherwise, I think he might have been overtaken. So
Shane's got 2 warnings. Shane has 2 warnings. That means if Shane makes one mistake, that's a 3-second time penalty on his head.
This could be huge.
Oh,
penalty,
Moggs! Sorry to cut in. Moggs caught the wall with the rear, but no damage to the front, though.
Lucky for him. Shane and Moggs is getting a bit loosey-goosey on the rear.
And so did Shane as well.
Here.
Both of them a little loosey-goosey.
Oh, is Shane going to dive bomb into the hairpin?
He is fighting. And Shane's caught up to the pack. And Moggs runs deep.
Oh, but the thing is he was able to get on the throttle nice and early, so that actually worked out in his favour. How's Camo going to do into the chicane?
Shane's coming. Is Moggs going to cover it off? No, Moggs is going to leave the gap open. Shane makes the move.
Moggs was sensible there and just let him go. He knew that that's not his fight.
And Camo! There's not Camo. Grunty on the inside. Oh no! Grunty and Eyes make contact! And Shane has to dodge it. To be fair though, it looks like though Grunty was making the move, but I just don't think Eyes saw him. Because Eyes left the room on the inside and then suddenly that gap shut. There was a gap, Grunty was there, and then suddenly Eyes forced himself onto the racing line though, which obviously is true that as the leading car in that battle, Camo
with a 3-second penalty. That's given Shane a bit of breathing room there with his 2 warnings.
And both the AlphaTauris have penalties. They've got to pray Shane collects one. But that means Camo's mistake gave him his second warning earlier, and now Camo finally collects his third and his first penalty. But now he is on the attack on Eagle.
Eagle, by the way, eyeing up Quirky Turtle into the final chicane.
He's going to do it. This is the move.
As I've said previously this year, I love a good three-way battle. Who doesn't love a three-way?
But it looks like, in terms of the three-way, it's not changing places, as Quirky still leads, followed by Eagle and then Camo.
Adam's only just left the session after
I think
DNFing
Eagle!
early on.
Eagle collects a penalty.
I imagine everyone's going to get at least 3 seconds around here.
It's the dirty air.
I don't think you can. I don't think you can afford to get any more than 3 seconds. You can just about get away with 3, but that's your limit, I think.
Can Shane get those mediums to the end? That's the question.
Can Shane get to the end of the race without another warning? That's going to be his goal now. I imagine he'll take it a bit safer, because that will gain him positions. Way to get to another 3 seconds.
That's 9.
Oh dear, and he's on the hard type. He's just pitted for a set of hards. That's a very unusual strategy, but sure, whatever.
Oh, here comes Camo. Camo is getting a little sniff, but obviously it's not close enough. Don't get too close to Eagle like you did last time, mate.
He was beautiful through the final corner. I think Camo's going to be eyeing up a move here into the first corner. Going up the inside. Oh, he's thinking about the championship. He knows that he can't afford to do any silly manoeuvres like that. Oh! But he nearly loses it on the rear. His soft tyres are getting hot.
That was a save,
Obviously, they had 2 laps under the safety car, so really they're 5 laps old of hard racing. But, he was lucky. It was a good catch. All the meanwhile, Shane is slowly biting out that gap between Eyes and the pack ahead.
Slowly,
he's going to be loving this.
The gap is opening. Yeah, the gap's opening.
As I said that, literally as I said that, he lost 3 tenths. Has he got damage this lap? Because it was under a second to Eyes. So Shane's obviously made a mistake. It
would make sense on why Shane's now suddenly losing a monumental amount of time.
Yeah, because Moggs is closing the gap on Shane as well. So has Shane got damage?
Again, that will hurt.
I think he's okay. Surely he's not. Yeah, he's not fitted, and his turn-in looks okay.
Oh, Eyes had a choppy final corner. That means Shane's instantly gained that gap back.
Straight back into the DRS zone.
But it does look like there's a bit of an understeer there in the corner.
Oh, Eagle made a little bit of a mistake into the first chicane. Got away with it, but I thought he was going to hit the wall. Quirky as well misses that apex. Quirky doesn't like that apex at all. He did that on every single qualifying lap. Maybe that's just his line. It's an unusual line, but sure.
Eyes is now under pressure. That last little twitchy moment on the final corner has brought Shane straight back in. At this point, last lap, Shane was a full second behind and a little bit more, actually. And on this lap, Shane is
1.3 seconds.
Late braking.
Oh, shit. Yeah, he was 1.3 seconds behind at this stage of the lap.
Oh, but Shane got a fantastic drive.
Yeah, Shane surely is going to be making a move up into the first corner. Eagle only 2 tenths behind, but back to Shane. Gets the DRS. Doesn't have much ERS, but neither does Eyes.
Eyes burned a bit to keep him back.
Ooh. This battle between the top 3 has gotten even closer. Eagle now only 2 tenths behind Quirky.
Quirky has done superb.
Obviously, all these 4 up the top 4 do have to pit again.
But the thing is does Shane have to as well? Because he did pit late on those mediums, but they'll be a bit...
20 laps on mediums is easy. That's easy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So after 20 laps on the mediums, your tyres are going to be... They're going to be about 60% worn. They're not going to be overly quick, But obviously, a pit stop round here is 20 seconds. So if he can just stay with this front runner, he's not going to lose 20 seconds to the people behind him, especially considering the majority of them are going to be on mediums anyway.
And here comes Shane.
The only person that might be able to close in a bit quicker is Quirky, who I imagine will be going on another set of softs. Oh, Camo has got him. Okay, no, it's because Eagle pitted.
Eagle has gone into the pit lane.
So what tyres is Eagle going on? Surely this is on for mediums now.
He could go into soft. Could he do softs? No, he can't do softs.
Yeah. No, you can get softs.
Mediums.
I think he's used his allocation of fresh soft. So if he hadn't got any fresh soft, he wouldn't be able to get them.
And Camo now fighting for the lead as Quirky touches the wall.
Mm-hmm. Oh, how's that giving him damage?
I think it was just a small little wall scrape. I don't think that was anything.
I would imagine
but...
if Quirky's going to go soft to the end, I think we'll be seeing him pit on lap 25. So only a couple of laps to go. I think we'll be seeing Quirky to pit. Oh, Quirky got a bit. Oh, he's
Camo's going to make the move here.
Mediums.
Look at the battery compared to 2. Camo's got nearly double the life.
Wow, Camo's got the most DRS out of everybody. He's really been managing it well. Even though he's been hunting down and battling, he's done a beautiful job of managing the DRS. This is going to be an easy move.
And Camo takes
just
the lead.
Just straight past him like that. I think we might be seeing Camo pit this lap. Is he going to pit? No, he's not. Okay, he's going to be pitting within the next couple laps, though. Definitely.
And Shane doing very well to hold on without collecting that third warning.
Look at the gap Camo's pulled already. I know he had a second lot of DRS through the as eyes pits. I know he had a second lot of DRS down the pit straight, but 0.6 is an incredible gap.
Grunty on Moggs. And looks like Grunty just gets the better run. But Moggs is not backing down nearly.
That would have given him a warning there. You've got to be careful through there.
Eyes onto fresh medium tyres. So now Eyes is aiming to try and hopefully catch Shane.
See, yeah. You're not going to want to... Camo's not going to want to take too long to pit here. Same for Quirky, because if they wait another couple of laps, Eyes can undercut them. Eyes was only a second and a half behind them, 2 seconds. So surely Quirky's going to come in this lap. Otherwise, he risks getting undercut by the Alpha Tauri.
It is very, very risky.
Here he comes, closing on Camo. Is he going to pit? No,
Camo
pits,
does.
Though. Camo's in. Okay, interesting. If Camo's got another set of fresh softs, he can take them to the end. If not, he'll be going on a set of mediums. What's he going to go for? It is
and that's red.
Set of softs. Ooh, has he? Are those used? If those are used, they're going to be very second
I don't think Camo would choose soft compound tyres unless he knew what he was doing. Quirky adding a penalty onto his tally. And quintessentially, this is important for Camo. Jumps Eagle in the pit lane. So that means the gap between Camo and Shane is 13 seconds and will now decrease dramatically.
Oh, but Camo's premium lap time, I actually think he's only got 5 or 6 laps of being quicker than Shane at this stage, because these soft tyres do fall off quickly. He's going to want to be taking out those 13 seconds now.
Yeah,
he's going to need to be absolutely pushing.
Here's the kicker.
Lap.
With Quirky not pitting onto a fresh compound, a second compound, he will have to pit, which means at the moment Shane is in the net lead.
Yep. That's why we were saying under the safety car that Shane had to pit. Like, it was the only sensible thing to do, and he did it. As Grunty gets a penalty, that means that currently the only driver without a penalty is the one and only Shane. But as we know, as you pointed out, he's only one warning off a penalty. So
one mistake
keep it sensible.
Is everything. Meanwhile, looking back at the gap between Camo and the leader is 14.6 seconds and is now decreasing dramatically, which means Camo is on his way.
I'm going to keep the gap on the leader for the moment so we can see the gap closing in. Surely Quirky's going to pit this lap. Surely.
Shane's burned a lot of his battery though. Meanwhile, Camo is burning.
Oh! I've got a bit of interesting news.
What's that?
Apparently, apparently there's going to be rain in 10 minutes.
Oh, can they beat the rain to the end? And in this case, Camo's fresh softs might just benefit.
The thing is, though, Quirky's going to be taking a huge risk here, because if obviously it might rain, but it might 10 minutes, and it's not going to be long. It's going to be pretty much 10 minutes till the end of this race. Surely,
I don't think the rain is going to
have to pit. No,
I don't think the rain's going to take a massive, and that's a crucial move as well. Because even if Camo doesn't attack, Shane's hit the wall.
Oh dear!
He touched
it.
Has
he got damage? Front
right? Who knows? But we have to keep an eye on the pace. But it looks like Quirky's already opened the gap up to 1.2 nearly. I think Shane has actually caught the wall. Could have lime damage.
If it's lime damage is copable around here. It's actually not.
But it could mean everything. It could mean everything though, because if Quirky's got no damage and Shane's got lime, then obviously in the corners is where we're really going to see Shane's pace drop.
He's managed to get back within the DRS though, so he will have DRS down this straight.
Will he? No, Shane doesn't.
Well,
because it looks like the gap was actually over a second before they hit the detection zone. Okay.
Quirky, is he going to pit? Quirky's pitted. There we go. So that was sensible, because yes, the rain's coming in, but it's not going to come in quick enough. So Quirky is pitting. What tires is he going to go on to?
10.8 seconds separate Camo and Shane. Camo has the fastest lap of the race, which is an extra championship point for his scoreboard. Meanwhile, Shane inherits the lead after starting in the lead and being hit in an opening lap crash. Is now back up in first place and can go to the end.
So in 2 laps, Camo's taken 4 seconds out of Shane. That's very impressive, that is.
It is.
But he is being held up by Moggs at the moment. Moggs on 17 lap-old mediums. Camo's all over the back of him in the DRS zone. Surely this is going to be an easy move.
Easy move, yeah.
Yes,
already now 9 seconds because the DRS assistance will have definitely benefited Camo substantially. 9.7 just... It was like 10.3 beforehand. And in that one
it was, yeah.
attack, it's made him half a second.
This is spicy. Obviously, Shane, technically, until he gets another warning, is 13 seconds, well, 12 and a half seconds.
He ran wide.
So that is giving him the extra benefit.
I mean, while everyone pretty much in the top 5 is level with penalties, except for Shane, who has nothing. So, interesting call here. That's being played by the championship runners, as Camo and Shane are separated by our one and only Grunty.
I thought Shane was going to hit the wall. What I'm going to do is, whilst we've not got any battles, I'm going to swap between the 2 drivers at moments where I think they could make a mistake, or any corners where Shane could get a corner cut, or anywhere where they can get close to the wall. I'm just going to swap between them. That was nicely done.
So, while he changes his batteries, Shane is still reaching the hairpin. 8 seconds separate the front runners. Between Camo and Shane.
5 minutes until rain.
That means rain might just come at the end.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes till the end of the race. This is going to be close.
I reckon the rain will come, but it won't be DRS disabled.
I would love it if it just tipped it down and we had like 1 lap at the end of madness. A bit like the Russian Grand Prix this year. That would be great.
Except for you don't want to be the Lando Norris in that situation.
No, definitely not. You've got to hand it to these guys, though. With only 9 drivers on the grid, this battle for the championship and the top 5 has been absolutely gripping. Fantastic driving from all of them so far. Shane just keeping it nice and neat and tidy. Camo is just on the attack. 7 seconds between them now. Camo's taken another 2 seconds out there in a lap and a half.
At this rate, Shane will outscore Camo by 9 points because P3 gets 15 points and Camo has the fastest lap of the race under his belt. So that is definitely going to be big, and if Camo can't win this race, it is definitely going to be damage limitation.
Camo, 6.5 seconds, another half a second this lap. The thing is, though, that's going to be interesting to watch out for is Camo is now about to pass over the 6th lap mark on these soft tyres. The wear isn't going to be too bad, but the tyre lap time does start to fall off as Quirky and Mogs. Oh,
Quirky double overtake.
They're 3-1. What were they doing?
What a move!
I was too busy looking at the bloody battle between the top there. I did not see they were 3 abreast. Bloody hell.
And Quirky's catching Camo.
So Quirky on 3 lap newer tyres.
5.6 seconds separate Shane and Camo. Shane is only just a corner ahead of him.
I think as long as Shane keeps it out of the corner cuttings here, Shane's got this, surely.
I think that's what Shane's doing. He's sacrificing some pace for consistency here because he knows all he has to do is, if Camo passes him, finish within 3 seconds behind him, but preferably keep Camo behind.
Oh, what a race this has been so far. Nail-biting stuff. Can Camo do it? I don't think he can. I think he can get a second.
I think Camo is running out of road. The rain's here. I can see raindrops coming down the halo.
Oh, prayers have been answered. Come on. Start.
Rain is here, but is that enough to trigger inters?
I'm doing my rain dance. in the lounge. Come on. Give us rain. Give us rain. Make it spicy for the end.
And
Come
Camo,
on. Piss it down.
Camo is in the DRS range now of Grunty. Nearly, actually, but it looks like they're starting to slip a little because of the rain. But this means that even the front runners, Shane is feeling that rain. But Shane's actually opening the gap with the rain.
Quirky Turtle, by the way, is taking a second out of Camo this lap alone.
Here comes the raindrops properly now. We can start seeing the raindrops on our screens.
Oh, Camo's getting a bit loose.
And Camo's burning his battery. Camo is desperate to attack Grunty before the DRS is disabled. And loses the rear a little bit. Not going to be able to pass Grunt here.
Gamble? Could we be seeing anybody gamble in the middle pack?
Too risky. Too risky at this stage.
Oh.
Too risky at this stage for anyone to make the call to box for inters because remember, this could be it to the end of the race. A rain may be here, but it's not quite enough for the game to deem it worth putting on inters. We're not seeing a spray. There is a little bit of more slipping from Grunty, especially. The gap between second and first is 2.6 seconds, and this is actually what Shane needs. Grunty buying him time.
Eyes the best is closing in on FTR Moggs. FTR Moggs is really struggling in these wet conditions. His rear end is dancing all over the place. We've seen that quite a few times this race from Moggs.
This is big.
It's accentuated.
Shane may be a warning away from his first penalty, but Camo's a warning away from his second penalty.
That's huge.
And Camo, look at the blade breaking from Camo. I reckon he's going to have him here.
I thought he was going to go into the back of Grunty then, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, Camo's going to get the move done here. Easy as. This is big.
Camo. 2 laps to go.
Oh, Shane went deep.
He needs to catch Shane.
And Camo's got the DRS going here.
Yeah, the game does that. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's the same as it's the same here as it is at what other track does that? Mexico, isn't it? Where you get it's just one DRS activation.
Shane again. Remember, Shane's sacrificing pace for consistency.
Moggs is doing a beautiful job of holding up eyes here.
It's almost like Moggs is
slow, not through. Oh, I thought I might be thinking of going for a move there.
Quirky's getting a little sniff.
He's going up to him and going. That's a little sniff.
I smell that Ferrari.
As Ice has gotten past Moggs, easy as you do that.
And that is an important
Grunty's
move.
struggling.
I think Camo is as well.
Where do we stand for pens? All on 3 seconds. So Grunty's going to fight this, surely. Fight this hard. I don't want to buy followers, thanks, NFC. I'm going to ban you.
Well, here comes the... Look at Grunty! What a beauty! Camo's hit the wall!
Oh my goodness me, this is huge!
But it's not enough for
I
Grunty
think he's
to take the
avoided
lead.
damage. It's on the final lap. Shane's done it. Shane has actually done it, unless he spins, so I'm not going to commentator curse him. But unbelievable recovery drive from Shane.
And from Camo, the pair of them. Shane being caught in the opening lap calamities and Camo being, let's face it, a bit of a tit, not doing a lap in Q1, has managed to recover.
Bit of a tit is a polite way to call it. Can Quirky get the final podium position?
Camo, a little dicey.
Quirky nearly went straight into the back of Grunty there. Is he going to make a desperate move here? No. Grunty's going to be loving the fact that Camo made the mistake.
I know you're going to be keeping an eye on this battle, but we have to quickly go to Shane, though, after probably one of the best recovery drives of...
We've got a spin of Eagle behind.
Not good for him. Eyes gets fifth, which is crucial.
I've got to watch this side by side into the chicane.
But Shane
Grunty's kept it.
wins the Canadian Grand Prix. And Camo second.
Unbelievable drive. And that has brought the gap of the championship down from 16 points to 9 points now, with Camo getting the fastest lap. This is huge. This is so close. 9 points with 2 races to go. This is like real F1.
This is massive. I thought Lewis Hamilton and Verstappen was intense, where the gap was closing by points bit by bit. But if they are level pegging on the final Grand Prix like we have coming up in Abu Dhabi, I will be scared.
This is the good thing is unlike in real F1 where they aren't really friends and don't really have much respect for each other between Verstappen and Hamilton. At least within these two, Camo and Shane, they've got a lot of respect for each other. So we won't be seeing any dirty tactics between the two of them. It's just going to be good, honest racing as Waiter crosses the line and nearly loses it. But wow, what a race. Welcome to your first race in Division 3 this season. How did you find it, mate?
Utterly glorious. A tremendous drive from Shane, honestly. Unlike, obviously, I know I'm an AlphaTauri and all that, but the way Shane drove today, early on problems saw him down out of the points nearly, and recovered beautifully after a pit stop mistake, back up to win the Grand Prix and not collect his third warning. So undoubtedly, when the vote comes out, Shane has earned my vote as driver of the day.
Yeah, that was an unreal drive. Can you invite the top 3 into the party chat for me, please?
I will indeed. I'll also collect some screenshots.
Fantastic job.
So, would you like to go over the classification of the grid while I get them in?
Yep, I will do. I was just getting that up on my screen now. So, crossing the line in first is RSF1 Shane, 0407. In second was Camo. Those two, absolutely fantastic drive by the two of them. Coming in third was Grunty, rounding off the podium positions. In fourth, we had Quirky Turtle. Nearly got a podium at the end then, but just couldn't quite hold on to it. We've got fifth in Eagle, sixth FTR Moggs. Fantastic drive. I think that was only his second race of the season. So, yeah, good solid points for him there. Eyes the best coming home in seventh. Hamilton 4941 coming in 8th. BHA Waiter getting lots of penalties along the way as he comes home and finishes in 9th. Then the DNFs of Slytherin, Yuskin, Jamie and Adam rounding out the final 4. Cracking race for only 13 drivers. That was very entertaining.
It was utterly
brilliant.
Right.
Bucket.
Has anyone got a what?
Bucket. I'm sweating.
I was gonna say it was a truly brilliant race. Attacks like we'd never seen. That I'd never really would have thought I'd seen a double overtake going into the final chicane and it come out cleanly. That was a superlative move by Quirky. But these three here in our party, they're the reason this race got so exciting. So how do you want to play
100%.
it? How do you want to play it in terms of the interviews?
If you guys can make sure you have your audio included, if I take first and third, you take second.
Roger Wilco, I'll let you take it with Grunt here.
Ideal. So, Mr. Grunty, how are you doing, my boy?
Hi, that was probably the most emotional race I think I've ever had from start to finish.
Well, yeah. So you qualified in fourth.
That's
Obviously,
great.
we had a bit of a tussle up front at the start, which we'll get into when we speak to Shane. But yeah, you had an entertaining race. Obviously, opted to go on to the medium tyres at the end there, just holding on to your podium position. How did that race go for you, mate?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit up and down, wasn't it? It started really well. I think we went 3 wide into turn 1, a bit mental. Shane actually had a problem at the start, which I'll let him discuss that. And yeah, managed to get a P2, which was great. Keeping up with Quirky was going really well. I was cruising, no warnings, no nothing, all good. Got damage on the wall, wanted to cry, had to pit, went on to softs. Safety car came out, went on to the mediums, and then Shane was like, I'm going to the end. I was like, okay, I'll go to the end too. Obviously, had a battle with Lee and got spun, which dropped me down. And I think without that spin, I'd have been up there with Shane, if not higher. But no, I let Camo pass towards the end. Pretty well. I say I let him pass. I didn't defend because I needed the DRS from him, and I knew all tyres, no matter what tyres you're on, they'd be dying in that range. So I just made sure I stayed within his DRS, and he gave me a bit of helping hand with DRS. And yeah, I think the last few laps, I think I sweated more than I've ever sweated, just trying to keep probably the fastest driver in Div 3 behind me.
Yeah, that was really well defended into the final chicane from you there.
Oh yeah, honestly, I thought he was going to get me, or I thought he was going to turn in on me. You know, but actually he was quite sensible and just kind of backed out of it because he knew the angle was disappearing. So fair play to Quirky. He had a banging race. Stayed with the top 3 as well, top 2. They had a banging race as well. Fair play.
Mm-hmm. Well, congratulations, mate. That's another podium for you this season. It's turning into quite a tidy little season for you, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll take it. Mate.
Take it. Next week we have Austria. Do you like Austria? How are you feeling?
Yeah, sure. Penalty galore again, isn't it? So,
yeah,
we'll see how that goes. I mean, you're not going to have fun, are you, Cornish? Let's be honest.
No,
you might win.
You can already count. yeah, I might win, but I'll drop to the back of the grid on pen. I think you can count next week. You can count me and BHA Waiter out for getting any decent results. 100% guaranteed we will be getting lots of pens. Is it a track you historically like? How have you gone in the past?
I think my past has been spun, got spun out, couldn't be bothered, retired. So yeah, really good run, to be honest. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, once again, mate, congratulations for this. That was a nicely well-managed race by you today, mate.
Thanks,
and maybe we'll be speaking to you next week.
Oh, hopefully.
On to you, Promise.
Right, before I properly go into camo, obviously following up from what Cornish has just said, well done, Grunty, on your 3rd place. And by the calculations made by the commentating team, I have tried to invite him, but he's not joined. Alpha Tauri have been crowned.
What are you doing? Sorry, how much football?
But Alpha Tauri has been crowned the Constructors' Champions of Season 5 in Division 3. So, and this is only going by what I've been told by Waiter. So congratulations, Camo, not just on a very well-earned 2nd place, but on your Constructors' Championship. So I'll go over both of those in a sec. But it's been a bit of a different race for you because you qualified. There he is. It's been a very difficult race for you because you deciding to, well, let's just face it, being the tit that you are, didn't set a lap in Q1. So a brilliant P2. We did see a little frustration there from your wheel wiggle as you crossed the line and didn't improve. But your preemptive retirement in Q1 costed you massively as you started 12th, but a strong recovery saw you finish 2nd. Are you pleased with that result as well as the Constructors' Championship?
I mean, it should have been a restart, but there you go. Just get mugged off even more. But yeah, I didn't know that was a game glitch, and so that's ridiculous. I probably would have. Yeah, I mean, well done, Lee. We're too good. We're goated in Alpha Tauri. Yeah, I made the best out of a bad situation, I guess.
And
what I would say, Camo, is in real F1, if somebody didn't set a time, they wouldn't go through to the next session. Would they?
Exactly.
I don't read the FIA
So-
rule book, do I?
Well, anyway, you displayed
And Shane started on
brilliant
200
fight-
degree tyres, minus 200 degree tyres. So that's another reason you can top on the ones
Yeah,
you
I was
missed.
going to say that was one of the things that kind of brought you back in a little bit, but Shane brought it back. But that will go to Shane's interview in a little bit. But still, you had a very scary moment going into one of the parts of the races because you, Eagle, and Quirky. You went into turn 1 and you were almost fully counter steering and saving a potential half spin. I bet you crapped yourself when that happened.
Can't actually remember it happening, but yeah, sure. I'm calm and composed, what can I say?
Well, it's damage limitation today because Shane managed his tyres perfectly and made the right strategy call. He managed to hold on as well, not collecting a single penalty, but regardless, 12th to 2nd is a really, really remarkable job, mate, with the fastest lap as well. So damage limitation is a thing for you today, but take that with a bit of a bump on the chin, mate, because you've done really, really good work and you've claimed the constructors. So enjoy that good recovery and the championship.
Cheers.
You can have it in F3, mate. We're taking overall.
And before we move on to Shane, because obviously it's fair to do 2 each, Eyes, I bet you didn't expect to get the invite, but thanks to your sudden last-minute It's Glock pass after Eagle's spin, you managed to do what AlphaTauri needed to collect the championship. So how do you feel now that you've finally gotten the W in the Constructors?
You know what, I don't even know where Eagle come from. Obviously just appeared from nowhere. But yeah, Camo's done sterling with, he's getting most of the points for AlphaTauri. Since like 5 or 6 races in, I've kind of tailed off. Camo's just been immense at the top, so congratulations to him and everybody at AlphaTauri. Across the divisions, we've done really well.
It's been a very, very hard-fought season for the pair of you, as Aston Martin and you two have just been bouncing backwards and forwards, but Yazgin's crash earlier is exactly what you both needed, and you have capitalised on it. So, well done on the Constructors' victory to the pair of you, and I think this actually does reel you back in a little bit for the overall. How are you two feeling on that?
It's pretty much a dead dodo now, isn't it?
Well, you never know. But anyways, well done to the pair of you. And now I pass off to Cornish to interview our race winner, Shane.
Shaney. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. Thanks. How are you?
Good. Well, you got our hearts racing in qualifying, mate, as on the last lap of the session, setting an absolute barnstormer of a 109 dead. That was unbelievable to get you in pole position, 1 position ahead of Camo before Camo got demoted back to the back of the grid. But then I heard that you had a glitch, which meant that you started on minus 200 degrees tyres. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yes, I think I've also figured out why that glitch happens, because
Right.
I was on pause for the entirety of the formation lap.
So was I.
Because
Right, okay.
I personally, I know what the rules are on restarts and whatever else, but I'm glad that the race went the way that it did, and I dropped back off the start because of that. Because it's even the playing field. I think in a situation like that, when it can affect the championship, I don't want to be winning or gaining in the championship because of a game glitch, and I'm sure Camo would feel the same way. So I do think it should be a restart, and to any of the admins that are listening, if something like that happens in the remaining 2 races, I would be very, very happy to do a restart, because I don't want to win or lose a championship in that manner. I'm sure Camo is the same.
Well, that's not a discussion for now. We can discuss that in. If you've got any things, put it in a committee meeting, and we'll discuss it in that position. But in regards to today's race, mate, obviously because of the glitch you had, you had the most horrendous start and then got span, and then you got damage. Was that damage done in that first lap carnage, or did you hit the wall during your first stint?
It was done in the first lap.
In the first, well, to be fair, mate, you did absolutely fantastically to not only keep going but overtake people along your way on that start. Obviously, you got your way up through the grid and then pitted on lap 5 or 6, I think.
7.
And 7, there we go. And then went for another set of softs, which I have to admit I was confused with at the time, but that safety car came out, and then you got to the mediums to the end. It worked out quite nicely for you, didn't it?
Yeah, I knew the reason why I went with softs is because I knew if anything went wrong in and around lap 15, I could put mediums on and go to the end. So when the safety car stayed out that extra lap, I thought, right, I'll put the mediums on, I can get to the end from here, and we'll just sort of see what happened. I knew I got good pace, and it worked out for me. It was just about then not getting any penalties and just bringing the car home. I was quite, I wouldn't say comfortable, because you're never comfortable when you're leaving a race and there's cars a few seconds behind you, but I was in control as such.
Well, yeah, considering you were the only driver that didn't get any penalties, I think you were one warning off for 90% of that race. So, yeah, that's impressive in itself, to be fair, mate. But because of that, with Camo coming home in second and getting the fastest lap, I think that means that you've taken a 7-point jump on him, which means you are now only 9 points behind him with 2 races to go. This is coming down to the wire. We've got Austria next week. How are you feeling about Austria? How are you feeling about the championship as a whole?
If I remember correctly, Camo's strong at Austria.
10-point gap.
Is it 10 points? Is it?
Camo got fastest lap.
Yeah, but so I think it was 16 coming into this, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of 6-point difference.
So,
18 to 20.
It'd be
19
no,
to
yeah,
25.
10 point.
Yeah,
I
19
think
to
Shane's
25.
only just edged out a
6 points.
6-point gap then, yeah.
Yeah, so it would be
Right,
10
okay.
points.
Maths.
right, okay. Quick math.
But yeah, I think Camo's quick at Austria. So next week he'll be just about doing as well as I can. If I can somehow manage to beat Camo, then it's going to make it for a very good last race. Especially as
100%.
especially as these next 2 races are going to be the last 2 in RSF1.
Yeah, mate, it's going to be a real shame to see
Go
you
for
go.
that.
We'll definitely be getting you in, no matter what the result is, we'll be getting you into the podium interview on the final race. But this has been an entertaining season all the way along, and it just keeps getting better, if I'm honest. I can't wait to see what we're going to happen next week. Congratulations on your win, mate. Congratulations to everyone else on the podium. Have you got anything else you'd like to add, Mr. Primus?
Yeah, so
I want to say something very quickly. I never thought I'd be saying this, but I'm just going to do a quick shout out to Celine for being our engineer today. She's actually really good.
Oh shit! Yeah,
If she's listening.
And me, and I'm sure cameras.
Yeah, and me. We all
right.
thought 2 championship
Shout out
rivals
to
shares the same part.
And
Yeah.
what I'd like to say is obviously, first of all, thank you to all of Division 3 for a really entertaining race. Obviously, my first stream in ages. And also, Shane, with how you drove, obviously, when that vote comes out, you have undoubtedly earned my vote for driver of the day. So,
No, he hasn't.
and I know, obviously, we have to wait and see how the Twitter poll
Rewind
goes,
a
but
minute. Hold on.
you have my vote guaranteed.
Thank you, Promise.
Don't be salty there, Camo. Let's
I don't
just
want your
face it.
vote.
When Shane had that
I
incident
don't
on the
wanna
opening
know.
lap,
I
I
don't
thought
wanna
Shane's
know.
day was done. So, like, the fact that he came back from it and didn't collect a single penalty, be the only person not to collect one, that
I could have not
is
got one if I wanted
contribution.
to. Bothered.
Yeah. Just get
Well,
on my level, Camo.
Other than that,
mate.
Yeah,
it
well,
was a
he's still
tremendous
in
race,
championship.
and it's good to be back.
Right, before this gets heated, I'm going to end the stream. So thanks everyone for tuning in. And
put you
I
in
think it'll be
charge?
me and Primus seeing you again next week. Thanks, guys.
You did.
Bye.
Bye.